Lee, thanks for joining us. Another free week for you and the staff and the players to work. How beneficial is that?
Yeah, it's really beneficial. It gives us obviously a lot of time and scope to look at the opposition. Gives us time to get the players up, what they need in terms of looking after little niggles, etc., keeping the ones off the feet that we need to, and getting some extra work in to the players that need it, just for top-ups. So all round for everybody, real beneficial week.
You've been there or thereabouts in that top 3 or 4 places for a long time now. As you come to the crunch part, as they call it, the business end of the season, are you seeing sort of a different approach to teams that you're playing, that how they're setting up against you?
Not particularly. I think the team, everybody we're playing against has got something to go for. So, Morecambe on Saturday, for instance, they're 3 points off the playoffs. They're going to have their own ambitions to what they want to do. So I do feel the games are beginning to be more attacking from both sides. I know people will think that teams are coming to Gresty Road and sitting off us a little bit and showing us that respect. But the teams we have to play, and we have played, need to pick up points. So I do actually think that Harrogate, I think we managed to pin them back in the second half. But the teams that we're up against need points as well, so we could have some entertaining games.
Yeah, you picked up on what my next question was going to follow up. How competitive it's become to try and win one of those automatic promotion places or a playoff place. You look at Walsall and picking them out because they were hovering around the bottom half. All of a sudden they're in the playoff situation. Is it a case of really remaining consistent now, the key thing to happen?
Yeah, I've said that all along. The consistency in this division is what gets you promoted. It's so exciting looking through the whole league. How far you can go down to teams that could get in the playoffs. Like I say, every team will have their own ambitions. Down at the bottom end of the league, that's getting even smaller now, so that's going to become exciting. So lots to play for, and I think it just shows how good the league's been. If I'm honest, I think it's been a really good league, really good teams. Some have had off days, we've had off days where you think, and then you see them again, we play again, teams perform. I think it's been a really exciting league. I said no one's been able to really pull away at the top of the league. Everybody else in the league's been able to claw that back. If it's a team fighting for getting the playoffs, winning at the top of the league, etc. I think it's been a really good campaign so far.
I know you play it down. That's how it's got to be. It's one game at a time. But you're where you are on merit. There's no doubt about that. It's not luck where you see yourself in the table. The old words that Dario used to use and other managers have used. Sometimes you can smell success in your dressing room. Have you got that feeling from what the players are sending back to you?
Keep the door shut so that smell doesn't get in, Graham. No, honestly, and it's so boring. It's so cliche. There's 12 games to play. Like I say, the opposition that we've got to play in that are all fighting for something, whether it's playoffs, whether it's to get out of a relegation battle. So you can't think like that. You can't think, it looks okay, and we're going to. As soon as you do that, you're going to be in big trouble. Big trouble. As soon as staff do that, that rubs off onto the players. The demand on the players will be exactly the same come today training. Like I said, we have standards that we want to hit. As long as we hit them standards, results might not go our way in a game. We might lose a game. We might. As long as we're maintaining them standards and the consistency that we're after, then we'll have an opportunity to be somewhere come the end of the season.
They always talk about football, confidence of players and what they can do when they're riding high and full of confidence. It's brilliant. Yours must be full of confidence, but again, from your point and your coaching staff and your managerial team, how do you keep the lid on that?
Well, you don't want to keep the lid on the confidence. You want them to have that confidence and belief, and rightly so, they should have it. And it's something we've been selling them from the start of the season. The good players. The key is they take in the information. They don't go solo and they don't try and do their own things. I don't want robots on the pitch. If they see something we've not worked on, go and execute it. Go and do it. But you want them to have that confidence. The key is, are they taking in the information? Are they then going to execute the game plan in terms of what we want from the team without the ball, with the ball, the type of patterns we're looking for? And if they continue to do that, they'll get even more confident because they've been able to take in the information which we feel has helped them, along with having good players. That can only build that belief and confidence. So we want them to go on the pitch full of confidence, but we're mindful as a staff that they are taking in the information, and you're not just riding the wave of go on, you lot are good, get out there, you're confident. We've still got to help them.
Well, you mentioned it earlier, you're moving on to Morecambe next, and yet another side that have changed the manager, but yet another side that are looking to extend their season as well.
Yeah, definitely, and they're right on the cusp of it, and they changed the manager, they lost some players, the loan players, and went to other clubs. So I think the last time we were due to play him, I was speaking about, it looked like they've got going again in terms of brought some players in and got settled, watched them a couple of times. Good team, honest team, work hard, but also try and play some good football. They've got some athleticism all over the pitch. We've got a player back from injury who's a really effective player. So like I said, they'll have their ambitions. They're right on the cusp of it. They can muster up 2 or 3 wins on the bounce. They'll be right in the mix. So we're going to have to be at it.
You've said it many times, you know, and I'm sure you want to stress it again. The away following is getting bigger and louder, and the home crowds are getting bigger coming out into the Morecambe Stadium. Again, how important are those fans?
They're crucial, absolutely crucial with this run-in. And they're crucial anyway. Fans are the most important thing at a football club. They are. But they're so crucial for us for these home games. When it's a nip and tuck game and we're being patient, if a team has a deep block, mid-block, asking for them to be patient with us, but then show the support, and it really does gear the players on, because there won't be many results, probably happen now, but there won't be many results throughout the league when there's something in it where teams are going to blow each other away. You know, they're going to have to be patient with us in terms of how we want to play, and really get behind the players. And like I say, let's see where we are after 12 games, but let's get everybody, the fans enjoying it and involved in the games.
Let's just go to that treatment room and where you're up to now with the likes of Luke Offord, if you can bring an update on with him, Zach Williams, Chris Long and Charlie Finney.
Yeah, Luke Offord will have an operation tomorrow morning, which again will rule him out for the rest of the season. He's been, as you expect with Luke, been positive and talking about when he'll be back training already, etc. So he obviously, we won't see Luke again on the pitch, but he'd be key to us because he's a captain when he's back in the building. We will look after him. I'm sure all the players will, but I'm sure he'll want to be in and around it, trying to help the players in any way he can. Longy, we're hoping a couple of weeks, 3 weeks away. I don't have an exact date on that at the minute in terms of, I have got one, the physios will, you know, they'll tell me straight away, but it's around the 3-week mark. But he's been really positive, Longy. He had a little bit of treatment on it, which he's responded really well to. I say a fit Chris Long gets in any team in this league, so let's hope we can get him right and get him involved in the game sooner rather than later. Zach Williams will rejoin the group today for training, so that's a real positive. He's hit all his markers, but we'll just have to be mindful with him again, same as Joel, how we build them up, because again, every player is going to be so vital and important to us with the run-in. Charlie Finney, speaking to the sports science and the physios, just because the lad's not really used his calves when he's been running for 18 months now, and it got to the point where he did need an operation. It's just working on his running style again, him having faith within his calves and just building up that strength. What we won't do is, I've said we won't rush Charlie in terms of what type of injury he's had. It's quite a unique injury, so we don't affect him in the long term, because I feel he could be a really good player. So we're going to build him up. He will be involved in the squad at some point, but we're mindful of the longer picture with Charlie.
And just to wrap it up, you've had your punishment for your red card that the referee showed you the last home game. Do you sit out of this one? Is it this one? And what are your thoughts? Yeah,
I'll sit out. I'll be in the stands against Morecambe. Yeah, they're the rules. I broke the rules. There's a cooling off period after a game. If I'd have just used the cooling off period, I wouldn't be sitting in the stand. So it's my fault. Referee stood by the rules. I apologise for that. I'll know not to do that again, because people are watching, young people, my son included, are watching, and it's a bad example for people. So rightly so, I'll be missing a game.